Hello, I'm Derek Osgood.
I'm Jorge Velazquez.
We are going to be showing you a documentary on the importance of a veterans lounge at Paul Smith College. Not only Paul Smith College, but any college.
Alright, we interviewed multiple people talking about their opinion on Veterans Lounge and if it would benefit the school, on recruitment, on veterans transitioning to civilian life, and multiple other things.
We also talked about the negatives of having a veterans lounge, which we were surprised about. And that's it. Thank you. I would like to ask you what your name is and your occupation here at the school.
Alrighty. Reiko Rexelius Tuthill. I'm Director of Student Health Services, aka the nurse.
Alright. And you were in the military?
Yes, I was in the Marine Corps.
My name is Amy Tuthill. I'm the Director of the Office of Veteran and Transfer Services.
Alright, what do you do for the college?
I'm the Director of the Office of Veteran and Transfer Services, so I oversee those populations here on campus, and specifically the population I work most directly with here are the veterans, whether they are truly veterans or if they are students who are in the military by virtue of being in the National Guard or the Reserve. Any student who's coming here with any kind of military status and using their GI Bill, for example.
Can you please state your name and what you do for Paul Smith?
Yes, I'm Sarah Hart. I'm an adjunct professor here of English, some art, and nature.
Alright.
This is weird.
We're doing we're going to be doing an interview for you guys, like a group interview on like how the school would be improved by a veterans lounge.
What's your opinion on the Veterans Lounge?
Well, the Veterans Lounge, I believe, is a necessary part of what Paul Smith College has to offer. We don't have one yet. It is a best practice as identified by organizations such as the American Council on Education. It's mentioned in the ACRO PowerPoint from one of their workshops or conferences, and I think that the lounge would serve as a way for our veterans to find a place that's quiet, that's comfortable, a place where when the ear of another veteran is the only one that will do. It's a place where veterans could maybe just get away for a little bit when maybe the time is needed to get away. I don't see the lounge as being a mechanism for separation from the campus community or a way to isolate each other. I see it as a real vital link to the betterment of a veteran's life here on campus.
Okay. What's your opinion on a Veterans Lounge?
Well, I only know what I know about it through you guys. If I kind of pull back a little bit, what I know of veterans here is that they are, frankly speaking, some of my very best students, the most kind of conscientious and hardworking and dedicated. I believe that anything that the school could do to help them be as comfortable as possible here would be good, because I believe that, at least in my classrooms, the whole tone of the class is often elevated by the involvement of the veterans. So I believe, as a teacher with a limited experience, I've only been here a year, that having as many veterans here as engaged as possible is good for our academic experience, certainly from my perspective.
So you guys got any comments about the veterans
Wait, are you recording this out?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you start over. You need to edit this. I didn't.
No, we want to look around, like see what we're meeting in right now. I mean, this is one of the culinary rooms.
It's very clean. So.
Yeah, it is clean, but that's not a place for veterans.
It's got a coffee maker. Make sure you get that. It's very important.
Well, no, I think it'd be great if we had a lounge that's more accessible. I mean, it's kind of strange just coming in here and we're in a culinary building. You know, it's not really. I mean, if we had a lounge, maybe we could set up a laptop or a computer or have like a printer, just even a place to sit. I mean, there's nowhere to even sit in here. How can you have a lounge if you're in a room with no seats, you know?
Yeah. And another thing is, I mean, as soon as we get in here, we can't wait to
Yeah,
get out of here.
We have a time limit also.
Yeah,
you know?
time limit, and it's not, it doesn't really come from this.
Just a nice area with maybe a couple places to sit, maybe a place where, you know, we could do some work, have our meetings, maybe have like a little coffee machine. I mean, I could donate a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff in my storage unit that I could put in there, you know, coffee machine and whatnot, what other supplies we might need.
I got an extra microwave.
Microwave, seat, perfect, stuff like that, you know.
And a place to not just have meetings, but a place for us to meet up and get together, or just go in there by ourselves, or, you know, because a lot of us are commuters. A lot of us, we don't want to bum around the library and take a computer spot. We'd rather have our own.
I would like to ask you what you think the need or the positive aspects or negative of the Veterans Lounge would be.
Well, from my experience from listening to the vets that come through and talk to me at different days, you know, it seems to me that it might be nice to have a place where they can meet with like-minded people, we'll call it. They're non-traditional, obviously. They've been off, they've done something. And they need a place where they know that the person next to them, I guess we kind of understand each other, for want of a better word. A lot of times we understand each other. We can talk about things and experiences we don't have to explain to other people, and it helps. It helps when you're having a bad day and you're trying to figure out what to do from your perspective, when the other person can share that perspective. It's also frustrating sometimes when you're a non-traditional and you have been out and you have done some major things in the world. And you're at a campus that is largely dominated by fresh out of high school students, and that mentality that goes with being fresh out of high school and haven't done much of anything. And that gets kind of some days a little frustrating, and you have it in each of your classes, and it's nice to have a place to go where you don't have to keep battling that frustration. I guess I'll put that.
What do you think are some of the pluses that the school can gain from getting a Veterans Lounge here?
Well, I think by having a Veterans Lounge, it gives us a place to show off to potential veteran students. The idea of being able to bring a prospective veteran to a lounge and show them the place that they can also find some quiet time, or a place where they can find one of their brothers or sisters in arms, so to speak, a place where they know that there's always going to be an empathetic ear. I think that would be something that would speak highly to and more positively to a prospective student. So I can imagine that it could help in recruitment. It may not be the only thing that draws a student here, because I think the small college feel, the strength of the current Veterans Club, that camaraderie, the programs that we have here, I think those would all contribute to a veteran looking at Paul Smith College. But I think the lounge would also be a
And like, let's say when you guys applied for the school and they had a Veterans Lounge, would that have been like a bigger incentive to come here?
Be something good for Amy to go out and recruit with. Yeah, there's Veterans Club, Veterans Association, but accommodations for those veterans, such as a lounge, huge.
I mean, we have a pretty high percentage of veterans at the school.
That's all right, too.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Do you think it would recruit more veterans to the school if we were to have a lounge? Yeah.
Again, I cannot speak specifically about the lounge because I don't know the degree to which the absence of a lounge is troubling to veterans. I can only say that I believe anything that could be done to make this a very veteran-friendly school is going to be good for the school. And so if a lounge is helpful in that, then absolutely we should have one.
And academically, mentally, do you think it would help the veteran students?
What I could see coming from it is that they would have a place that, like I said, while they're sort of having some downtime, they get their things out, and they have people that they ask that they feel more comfortable asking for help. because, like I said, everybody's kind of been in a similar place and they trust each other in a different way, and it's easier to ask that person, hey, you know, I'm doing this, by any chance, you know, can you help me with it or whatever. I could see having a place that's quiet like that to work on things, because a lot of them don't live on campus either, while they're here waiting on whatever the next class or whatever, getting things done. And like I said, having that comfortable environment to be in, and having other people they feel very comfortable asking for help of you know, not just the class sometimes, so much as how they get through their day and how they're dealing with the stressors they have as well, which is a big part of being here. And they affect them differently, I think, than the average traditional student. Just because of their experiences, those stressors will affect them differently. And it's nice to have somebody else to help them get over that or direct them.
So Veterans Lounge, you think would help?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like maybe have lockers in there to just put your stuff, computer to
Yeah.
couch.
Sort of like a USO type thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little tutoring section, you know, a little section off quiet area for tutors to help out on veterans.
Maybe a few tables.
It doesn't gotta be big. I mean, just, you know, small.
Something to where we're not intruding on others. Like right now, like Chef Gotts could be doing something here right now, but he's letting us take it over instead. So I mean, if we're kind of bugging him by using it, he probably doesn't mind. Realistically, we are taking up space when we can have our own space.
Realistically, do you think we would use a lounge? Because the Community Lounge, I think, has 4 people signed up for it this semester.
Yeah, we have 30 veterans here.
36.
31.
How's close?
He was closer. So we have 31 veterans here. I mean, that.
And, you know, most of us try to make the most out of our day while we're here, so we try to, say if our classes are spread out, we want somewhere where we can just go and kind of relax for a little bit, you know, and being around other veterans would help, especially at our own little space.
Yeah, it helps. Even on a personal level and communication with each other, you know, we need to talk about something. We don't have to worry about having other ears hear it, because they don't need to.
It could be a spot for where we could do, like, where we could conduct our business, our meetings, we could have our tutoring sessions in there. We could have people just go in there and just relax between classes. I think it's an overall good idea.
And feasibility-wise, do you think it could happen here? I mean, we have a low student count, but percentage-wise, we have one of the highest Marine Corps or military.
Okay, I like what you said first time. You can stick with that.
Military presence.
Right, we do. I think we have a decent sized military presence, and I think that we're pushing to try to expand that market. And I think it would be a drawing card for that expansion to have something like this and have it already entrenched. Here at Paul Smith's, I do know that space is at a premium though. And that's a hard thing, is trying to find that space and maybe who's not truly using their space so that we could get it or develop it on this campus. I do think that there's hope for that. Now, may not be in an existing structure or how it's currently mapped out, but you know, with all the vet groups in the area and all the funding coming for vets, if we had a decent sized population and we're hoping to keep it and grow it, like I said, I could see putting something out there to try raising the funds to create such a place for the vets.
2 computers in here, microwave. We have water, we need a new one. We have lockers that you can use that have locks on them. We've got our new flat screen TV.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, head injuries. You may be entitled to.
And we have our refrigerator that you can use to put food in. Yes, they use it. We have a phone.
you're a disabled veteran, get
All right, and I would just like to ask you, how many people use this on average per day?
Probably, I'm guesstimating about 4.
All right, and how many people have applied to use it?
That I'd have to go in and look. I have a book full. There's quite a few though. I would say close to 40.
Okay.
This semester we've had quite a few. Actually, 16. Not as many as we had this semester before. The semester before we had a lot. So this semester we only had 16.
All right, and do they change the code every semester?
We change it every year. Not semester, every year. So some of those other people might still use it. They just didn't come in without the paperwork.
All right.
Okay?
And do you think that a veterans lounge would help out the school in any way?
I think that because this does not get a lot of use, my own personal feeling is that combine the two. But, you know, I don't know. If there would be some reasons why it would be better to have it separate, you know, that's,
The General gives over 1 million online posts
I
every
can't
year.
think of anything off the top of my head, but I mean, I think this would be a good place for the veterans to use, unless there's some reason that you feel a separate one would be, because as you can see, it's empty right now. And yeah, unless there's something that's not here that would benefit you.
Yeah, and that also brings into the fact that they're. Another idea is to fuse it with the commuters lounge, so we would also be sharing that with, you know, non-traditional and older students. How do you guys feel about that?
Isn't there a community lounge already? I've never been in it once.
Do you guys even know where it is?
Yeah, I know where it is. It's in the bottom of the student center.
I mean, we can't get too greedy, but on the same token, most other schools have their own lounge.
And like academically, do you think that would help?
Absolutely. I mean, if they have a spot
Maybe
where
it'll be distracting with the other side of it being coming and goers as commuters.
Are you lost?
I am. Now I'm found.
Okay, one thing we heard was, what about combining the commuters lounge and making it a vets lounge as well? You think that would be...
Right, and as
Good
far
thing.
as I know, I mean, I know there's a commuter lounge, I know it's right here. I don't think it sees a lot of use. When you say combining, do you mean sharing with other non-traditionals because they're commuters, or do you mean, you know,
Yes.
and I don't see a problem with that because I think they have the same issue as you would have. So I don't see that that would be a problem. And like I said, and I don't think it sees a lot of traffic at this time. But and once again, my key concern for anybody who's doing that is that you just want to make sure that people are still staying connected, not running away from life on campus, because you still need to embrace what, you know. But it is nice to have a place to go to where you feel comfortable and you can set aside from the other, I'm not sure how to say it, but the other aspects of the campus.
All right, and that's all my questions.
Anything else?
All right,
Thank you.
What's your
Thank you very
opinion
much.
on making the commuters lounge into a veterans club as well?
I think it's a nice space. Having seen the pictures, the one thing I worry about is it's kind of far away from my office. So when veterans are looking for any assistance from me, it's still going to be a long jaunt to come get to me. Going back to best practices with the American Council on Education, the idea is to have a center, a one-stop shop, where my position would be combined in close proximity to a veterans lounge or whatever space the veterans use most frequently. It would also be combined with any other services that veterans frequently use, for example, when Tim Pierce is here. So the option of a veterans lounge is best done when it becomes a part of a suite of offices where that one-stop shop is provided for a veteran, which is actually the way they've come to know life when in the military. There was always that go-to person, that point person. So it's just continuing the model that they've become accustomed to in the military, which then makes us more veteran-friendly because we're trying to reach out to veterans in a way that they've become accustomed to over the years.
Do you think there would be any negatives from having a veterans lounge?
I don't think so. No, I mean, it's not like anyone's going to be smoking in there, or, making a mess of it. So, I mean, all of us are pretty well matured and responsible for our own actions.
The only negative thing I can think of is the other clubs complaining, saying, "Well, we want a lounge, or we want a lounge." But the thing is, it's not just the club. It's outside of the club. It's all our veterans. And like we said, majority of our veterans are commuter students. And we would like to have a place not only just meet for our club, but just any veteran in general, just to come there and relax, even if they don't want to partake in like the club business and activities we're here today.
Do you think there are any cons of having a veterans club?
Well, the Veterans Lounge, I think the lounge itself, I guess one con could be that it could be seen as a place where veterans would go to isolate themselves. But again, I think the strength of the Veterans Club and the recent events that show how interested they are in becoming part of the community, I don't think that would become a con in reality. I think it could be a perceived con, but I don't think in reality that it would be. The con would be maybe taking up a space that somebody else might be able to use. But if we find a place on campus where that's underutilized or not utilized to the best of its abilities, then it becomes a pro because we're giving it good, useful use. Utilizing it in a better way.
Okay. Do you think there would be any negatives coming from the Veterans Club?
You mean having like their own place to go, not the club itself, but like a room or
yes.
like a lounge or whatever. The only thing I could see, and I say this for anybody, because even like the commuters and that kind of thing, I worry about isolationism. I worry about you not being integrated on the campus, because you still have to, even if sometimes it frustrates, you still need to be integrated and you still need to connect with the rest of the population. And that would be my concern, is that you don't get too isolated. And I'm not sure how to make that happen, where the happy medium, is there. But I think that has to be kept in mind. Maybe in choosing the location and not making it so it's away from everybody, that it is, this is one of the hub buildings, but making that in a location that keeps you interactive.
One problem that I heard of was if we get a veterans lounge, we'll isolate ourselves from the other community of the Paul Smith College. Do you think that's true?
I would. I don't like the kids. They bother me a lot of the time. To be completely honest, probably just go there and nip. Class.
I don't. See, everybody's different. I don't have I'm fine. I talk to whoever, but just have a nice spot to come do my work. It's fine with me. But I'm still involved with other clubs and the other students here on campus, so I don't see that being a major issue or a problem.
Yeah, with the time that we spend in there, it won't be timed. It wouldn't take away time from what we do when we spend with clubs. He goes to a lot of these meetings. It has nothing to do with it. He'll be with the meetings with all the other clubs. He's interacting with them.
And another thing that we're going to do probably next semester and the upcoming semesters is we're going to be doing a lot more working with other clubs. So I think that's going to be a great aspect. We're going to have other clubs come to our lounge and do business there and set things up. And I think it's overall a good idea.
All right. Any other comments, concerns, questions?
restaurants, and we could pretty much do the furnishing ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
we have all this stuff to fill the room, you know, majority.
All you're asking from the school is a space.
If we could just get a space to start off with, we'll do the rest.
With a table.
We could build a table.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you ask any veteran on campus, they would totally use this Veterans Lounge.
Alright. Do you have any questions, Paul? Well, I would like to personally thank you for watching the documentary and hope that it was very informative and that maybe, hopefully, we'll get a Veterans Lounge at Paul Smith's.
Thank you.
That's good though. Who's
Take care of that. Are you recording this?
Yes.
You don't want to delete that last part.
Put a little beep in